Happy Fragrant Friday, Fraghead. Hey everybody, this is Brent here at That Cologne Guy, coming at you with a new review. How are you doing, my friends? Happy Fragrant Friday. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. This is, of course, the channel, That Cologne Guy, that kicks off your weekend. I want to thank you very much, very quickly, for your well wishes last week when I had a cold. I am up to about 90% better, and I'll take that. I still have a little bit left, but I'm feeling much better. So thank you very much for your comments. I really do appreciate that. Now, this week is one of those special ones where I reached out to our old friend Darius, Dr. Goo, over at LockSense, and he sent me, remember, a whole boatload of samples, and this is one of them. This is one of the few that I specifically requested from him because over the years there have been a few fragrances that people have commented saying, you really should try this one based on what you like and your tastes and the notes that you like. You should try this. You will like it. Dunhill Icon has come up more than once. It's come up a few times. I am a huge, massive fan of neroli, and I love many of the notes in this fragrance. Now, so I finally wanted to give this one a try. And so this one, again, this is Dunhill Icon, sent in by Dr. Goo over at LockSense, and I will put him in the description box. I hope he is doing well. This is a 2015 release, and it is a woody aromatic. So it's time again, yet another episode where we get to talk about woodies. It's a woody aromatic, and this one I feel like I'm able to capture what it smells like, but this is another fragrance that has a lot of notes in it, and I'm going to let Fragrantica do its thing. So you go to Fragrantica and check out all the notes in it, and I think that would be better for you because I'm going to mention just a couple that I'm able to tease out, but really it's one of those complex fragrances that you want to really look at all of them online and first, and then I'll explain to you what I feel it smells like. Here's what I'm getting with this fragrance. Okay, you do get in the top, you do get neroli. Okay, you're going to get a lot of neroli. Then it gets into juniper berries in the mid, and then you get oud and lavender. The oud, I think, is in the base. It might be the mid. I'm pretty sure it's the base, and then you get lavender. Now, there's so many more notes, of course. Why am I saying that, though? Here is what's going on with this fragrance. This, I wear Terre d'Hermès quite a bit, all right? Some people say this smells a lot like Terre d'Hermès by Hermès, of course, and then some people say it smells nothing like it. They're both kind of right, actually. And here's what I think is going on with this fragrance. If you took Terre d'Hermès and you took out the organic orange peel note, the vetiver, specifically so in other words, you left in the vetiver and Terre d'Hermès, but you took out that real pungent organic orange peel note that it's a turn off to a lot of guys. If you took that out and left Terre d'Hermès as is without the organic orange peel note, then you mixed it with grape pop, grape soda, or grape fizzy drink, yeah, whichever term you use. And then the third would be just a sprinkling of Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino. That's what you get with Dunhill Icon. It pissed the dog off. You can tell she's barking. Must be something out there. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at Terre d'Hermès, strip away the organic orange peel. Then you take grape pop. It has a very distinct grape pop smell when you first open and smell this. It does go away, but it's there. It's there. And then just a little tiny hint of Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino. I've reviewed that one, and you can kind of see just a little bit there. So I have to say, and this is the second week in a row that I'm talking about purple or grape soda pop. So that's interesting. Coincidence. But it does, and so that's what's going on here. Relatively, actually, if you think about that, when you talk about neroli mixed with oud, there are not a lot of fragrances out there that have that clash. And I use that term specifically because some people are going to like this fragrance because of that clash. Other people are not, for the same reason. This one's a tough one to review and a real tough one to give a rating. I did not like this one as much as I thought I would. It does not live up to the hype that it had. But I did like it. I do like it. Now, the other thing that's going to be possibly a turnoff for you is the lavender. The lavender is quite metallic. And so people talk about this being like, way too synthetic. On my channel, I kind of give a free pass to the whole synthetic mess kind of stuff because most of no one's, maybe for a Creed, but the rest of the houses, it's not like there's a dude rowing off the shores of Sardinia to get whale vomit for us to put it in a huge vat and then stir it. These are all synthetic, so I'm okay with that part of it. But it is a metallic lavender. The lavender is quite metallic, and so for me, I worry that some people are going to call this cheap for that reason. It has been discontinued, and maybe that was one reason why. I don't mind the metallic lavender. I just wanted to point that out. So it's kind of like some neroli, you got some oud, and then all of a sudden you've got this kind of metallic lavender. Excuse me. So you have to hand it to it. It is relatively original, and I did take that into consideration in the ranking. I should have mentioned too at the beginning, the parfumé is Carlos Ben-Naim. That is Benai with an umlaut over it, the two dots, M. Benaim with the two dots over, or the umlaut over the I. Carlos Ben-Naim, I've reviewed some of his work. Not in the top 5 favorite parfumés, but what I like about his work is it's always reliable. He always does good or even better work. I can't think of anything that he's done that has been mediocre or was bad. All right, so that's where we're at with this one. Complex, sure, lots of notes going on. It is linear for me though, in the sense that it smells relatively the same throughout, with the one exception of the grape pop kind of losing steam from the initial blast. Okay, so when it comes to longevity, I feel like you're looking at par for course for a work shift. That is relevant because this is a work scent, no doubt. So you will get 6 to 8 hours on this one, so it's perfect for daytime work shift, which is basically why it was made. This is not an incredibly sexy fragrance, and it's definitely more appropriate or suitable for a mature guy in the workplace. Now, when it comes to projection, or 3 feet or 1 meter from the body, I would say you'd be looking at probably 4 to 7 hours. I mean, pretty good. I would have liked maybe a tad more, but it's not anything that was like gone in an hour. It held its own. So I would say, pretty common for an EDT. I wasn't overly impressed, but I wasn't disappointed either. Par for course. Sillage, same. Sillage would be another 4 to 7 hours walking past people, leaving a scent trail. I think you will get picked up. People will comment on it, and it does have an original quality to it. You've got the neroli, you've got the oud, and then you've got this kind of lavender barbershop element to it that is pretty damn appealing. I mean, this is one of those rare times where, in the description they talk about, smelling like a British gentleman, yeah? It actually does. Actually, it does have the sophistication, and I can imagine a guy walking around in a mature businessman in downtown London on his way to Tottenham, yeah? Going to the Tottenham match, of course, against Arsenal, where Arsenal would lose. So there you have it. I mean, I do feel like it fits the bill. This is more of a conservative, traditional, mature fragrance for a businessman or somebody who's working around a lot of people. It is inoffensive. It smells very, very nice. It's not sexy, and I don't think it would be off-putting to too many people, except for that sharp metallic note that you personally might not like. So on my way over here to record, I was thinking about this too. Every year, a friend of mine asked me to recommend a fragrance for his stepdad. His stepdad is, I think, 60 to 65, something like that. And he is a minister. So, of course, he's around a lot of people throughout the day. And he's always looking for a recommendation for something that is very nice, appropriate for a mature gentleman. Not grandpa-ish, but a mature. And also around a lot of people, but doesn't, clear out a room. Rather subtle. This one actually does that, and I do feel that should matter when it comes to the rating, because if somebody were to ask me like what would be a go-to fragrance for somebody 40 and up for the workplace during the day, very 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 appealing, would leave a nice feeling that this person pays attention to detail. They probably have cufflinks and et cetera, et cetera. So this one does that actually, and it would be a perfect gift if it hadn't been discontinued. But this would be one that I would put if I made like a list or a top 5 or top 10. I would include Dunhill Icon for that. Daytime, workplace, mature, older gentleman. Probably either business or at least some occupation where he's working in a position of power around a lot of people. A professional job working around a lot of people. How's that? So I like that, and I feel like it made its point. So when it comes to the age, then this one is a 40 and up. This one is, actually, let me do gender first. This one is definitely about, you're going to see this one tilt the scales way over to about 90 to 95%. I don't see too many women actually pulling this one off at all. So I'm going to go 90-10 on gender. People who own it, who wear it, who wanted it, it's their signature scent. This one is definitely a mature, successful gentleman, a British gentleman after an 8-hour shift on his way to Tottenham. And so I'm going to go 90-10. 90% male, 10% female on how it actually plays out. Age is 40 and up. It's not a grandpa scent. You want it? I can see you deleting your comment right now as you hear me say that. I can see you. It's not a grandpa or grandma scent, but it is mature. No doubt. Probably the neroli and the lavender and juniper berries and just some other stuff. Vetiver maybe. Sophisticated, yeah. But mature for sure. Mature for sure. Poet didn't know it. 40 and up on age. And then season, I would go... This one really is kind of an all season. I would say probably maybe take out winter. I mean, I would say this is more like a spring, summer, fall fragrance for me. And in the dead of winter, I don't know that I would really necessarily think of this one. That said, though, I think it really is more about the daytime workplace than anything else. So I do think that it could easily be worn year round. Wouldn't be cloying, wouldn't fade too much. Does quite well. It's perfect for the people who don't like too much projection. So if you don't like the recent Arabic fragrances or United Arab Emirates fragrances that I've been reviewing, you would like this one if you're looking for something confident and subtle. And so that's perfect. So this probably, honestly, it probably deserves a 3 out of 5 in my rating system. I don't do halves, and so we were looking at probably like a 3.5 because, like I said, it didn't live up. It's not eye-opening. It's not jaw-dropping. It's not... It didn't surpass the hype and my expectations. That said, I do have to admit that I really, really enjoyed wearing it. So, because of the fact that it is... I'm going to give it a free pass. I'm not going to ding it because it was overhyped, because it was. But I will say, this one is, I find it actually rather original. I do. It's very different from a lot of the fragrances that I have reviewed over the years, and I did take that into consideration. I also like the fact that I immediately thought of a certain target audience for this. specifically. It was very easy to say, okay, yeah, this would be for this group of people, and I'm going to honor that. So I am going to bump it up. It's probably more of a 3-5 out of 5, but I don't do half sprays, so I'm going to do 4 out of 5. I'm going to round up. I know it's highly controversial. This channel is polarizing for sure. I'm going to do 4 out of 5 sprays. Very lucky. It's a 3.4 and then went and did some extra credit and got 3.5 and then rounded up. So 4 out of 5 sprays for this 2015 discontinued fragrance. Woody aromatic. Boom. Boom. I think I might have enough. Boom. And... oh, I did. Wow, perfect. Okay, 4 out of 5, barely, for Dunhill Icon. What do you think about this fragrance? Do you like it? For you, does it live up to the hype? Do you find it to be a synthetic mess? Is it too much grape pop, soda, grape fizzy drink? Yeah. What is it for you? Let me know. And let me know, if nothing else, always let me know your scent of the day and or scents of the week, as I always say, but I really enjoy going over all of the fragrances that you are rocking throughout the week. Something I really look forward to is your comments. So there you have it, another one by the boards. Thank you so much, Dr. Goo. I really appreciate all of the fragrances and samples that you have sent in over the years. So thank you very much. And always remember, my friends, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care, everybody. Hello, David Brent here. People ask me all the time, yeah, what fragrance would David Brent wear? And that's whether I'm in Slough, Winnish, or Burfield. This is what I rock. Signature scent, Dunhill Icon. Why? Because I am an icon. So don't. Whatever. People say, yeah, oi Brent, still chasing the Yankee dollar? No. I work hard, successful, sure. But I'm not orthodox. Yeah? I don't play by the rules. They see the rugby shirt, and they say, you're rock and roll through and through. We can see it. Sure. My staff has said I'm an icon. Yeah? Which is why I wear it. So that's the way I